Right there guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday, so that means it's time for PaperTalk, right? And I really didn't want to touch this story, but it's top of the BBC gossip channel. So basically it says here, Liverpool are in talks with PSG over a loan move for French striker Kylian Mbappe. I can't even talk about it without even laughing. So let's go to the article itself. Now, first off, there doesn't seem to be any source cited. There doesn't seem to be any quotes or anything, so this looks like pure speculation, which I think we all probably knew anyway from the title of this article. But we'll read this first few paragraphs just so you've got an idea of what it says. Liverpool are in talks with PSG over a sensational loan move for Kylian Mbappe. PSG are fuming that Mbappe refused to talk to the Saudi Arabian club after the French champions accepted their world record-shattering bid. But they also fear that Mbappe will walk away for nothing in 12 months' time to Madrid. Liverpool are ready to offer Mbappe a one-year loan deal, which gets him out of Paris and will bring cash for PSG and enables the 24-year-old to complete his dream move, not to Liverpool, but to Real Madrid. So Liverpool are going to be the stopgap between him and Real Madrid. The Reds have been encouraged by Mbappe's respect for the club and the fact that his mum, also his agent, is an avid Kop fan. So he's got so much respect for Liverpool, and his mum's a big fan, but we're going to use us as a stepping stone to get him to Real Madrid next year. Mbappe has often praised Anfield boss Jurgen Klopp, and him and his representatives have held transfer discussions with Liverpool before opting to join PSG when he decided to leave Monaco. Now, I'm going to be real with you guys right now. That there, where it just said before he joined PSG, that was the point where Liverpool should have signed Mbappe. If Liverpool had got him then, I think he'd have probably gone to PSG or Real Madrid from us, right? But he jumped to PSG. He's on so much money now, guys, like ridiculous amount of money. There's literally no chance that Liverpool sign this player, even on loan. Because what? PSG are going to want like a loan fee. They're going to want so much of his wages, if not all of them. And we all know that Liverpool don't pay that type of money. We've only got to look back at a few recent transfers, and for that, Jude Bellingham, for instance. I know there's people out there that believe that Bellingham chose Madrid over us. There's people out there that believe that Liverpool walked away from the deal because Bellingham's dad wanted £15 million or something like that. There's also people out there that don't understand what happened, because the day before Paul Joyce came out with his statement saying that Liverpool were no longer in the race for Bellingham, that Bellingham's entourage had travelled to Merseyside to meet Liverpool's officials the day before that article came out. So you have to think, what happened in that meeting? Did he ask for £15-20 million? Or was it a case of basically Jurgen Klopp was given a choice? You can have Bellingham, but you can't have nobody else. And Bellingham basically wouldn't have been enough for Klopp to do the work he needed to do with his midfield, basically. Do you know what I mean? Which, at this moment in time, what work? You know, we've lost more players than the ones we've brought in. Yes, there's the argument that some of the players that we've lost never played anyway. But still, let's say we've lost Milner, Henderson, Fabinho, Keita, the Ox, right? So that's 5 midfielders there. Is there any more that I can't think about right now? I bet you any money I'm missing one. No, I can't think. Anyway, let's just leave that there. So even if you take out the Ox and Keita and just call that one player, just because they hardly played, right? You still need 4 midfielders to come in to back up them numbers, right? So we've brought in McAllister and Szoboszlai, so you still need 2, right? Lavia, we seem to be dragging our heels on that, and to a certain extent, I agree. The guy ain't worth 50 million. He's 19. But at the end of the day, if the manager wants this player, let's not do another Daniel Marlin or Timo Werner, guys, like where basically the club refused to pay the money and we have to move on, and Klopp has to ring that player and basically apologise, saying, you know, I want you. It's not that you've done anything wrong, it's just the club won't give me the money. Do you know what I mean? Again, like he's done that in the past, guys. We don't want that happening again. But I get we've got like Bajcetic and we've got Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott, but that midfield is very, very young now when you look at it. The oldest person in that midfield is Thiago. You know, where's the leadership? Yeah, Szoboszlai is the captain of Hungary, But from some of the social media videos I've seen, right, that the club are putting out there, kind of always seems to be by himself. And I ain't trying to cause like some drama or anything like that. I'm just going off what I see. This channel is basically I respond, and I do videos and analyse the stuff that's put out there. And judging by the videos put out there, Szoboszlai seems to be by himself a bit. I did see him doing the ping pong tournament, and yesterday he was a little bit more involved. But when McAllister first came in, he was straight away in with like the Portuguese and the Spanish speakers, you know, the Nunes, Diaz, Adrian, Alisson, you know, stuff like that. Like, he was in there straight away with all of them. But I don't know. So I wouldn't say Szoboszlai could come in and start being a leader when he's not really in the group, so to speak. Which leads to like the captaincy of the club, doesn't it, as well, at the same time going on. You know, Van Dijk was at the press conference yesterday, so you would think that Van Dijk's probably going to be the captain. There was no announcement made. Klopp said he was going to make the decision and not let it be the players that decide who the new captain is. There's videos of Klopp pulling Trent to one side in training yesterday and people taking that he's going to be the new captain. I think Robbo's in for a shout of being captain as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Robbo became new captain in regards to all this. And then just before I go back to PaperTalk, guys, well, I'll just come on a bit of a rant now. David Ornstein as well. One of these journalists that you would think has become one of the most reliable in regards to Liverpool. In fact, he's probably one of the most reliable in regards to the Premier League full stop. Like, he seems to know, he seems to get everything, right? He was on a channel 2-3 days ago, Rio Ferdinand channel, I think, where he was basically asked the question, will Liverpool sign any more midfielders after Lavia, if they get Lavia done? And he quoted here saying, I'm not aware of more incomings. That's not to say they're not going to happen. I think Liverpool will always be attentive to the market. Now, it's just stuff like that, guys. It's just word salad. Like, trying to keep himself relevant. Like, if that were me, like, and you guys, if you guys asked me a question, like, oh, what do you think about this? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. One word, there could be these one word answers where they just give you this word salad, and it's sometimes a bit annoying, really. Like, he doesn't know, basically, does David Ornstein, what the crack's going on. Nobody knows what's going on at Liverpool right now. Twitter, guys, I'm telling you, does not know what's going on at Liverpool. There's not a single journalist that's got any sort of relationship with George Schmadtke now. Like, if you believe the article that came out on The Athletic about a week and a half ago now, Schmadtke spends half his time in Ibiza. Like, he's visited Anfield a couple of times. He's been to the training camp in Germany. He might be in Singapore now. Who knows? I don't know if I've seen a picture of him there. But from what I gathered, from the majority of the time he's spent at Liverpool so far, he's been in his villa in Ibiza. And he's been doing everything over the phone. So how do you build a relationship that way? Do you know what I mean? And this month as well, it's apparently supposed to be the month where we decide if we keep him as our sporting director or we move on. We get somebody else. Schmadtke said that himself. It's just a bit frustrating, guys, what's going on right now with Liverpool. And when you see stories like this about Mbappe, it's just absolute garbage. Like, do they really think that Liverpool fans really believe that Liverpool are going to be a stepping stone for a player who, to be honest, guys, pisses me off with what he's doing? He's on stupid amount of money and he's holding a club to ransom. Like, can you imagine if he did that to us? If that was Liverpool, I don't want that type. He might be the best player in the world, but I don't want that attitude at the club. And I don't think Klopp would let it happen at the club either. You know, that's why he's got this sort of policy where if a player wants to go, you go. That's why we've seen Henderson go. Fabinho's gone. Coutinho went in the past. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't really stand in the way of players wanting to go. Sadio Mane may have been one of the players where he kind of stood in his way, where Mane, I think, wanted to go the year before he left, but he stayed an extra year. But I wouldn't want that at the club, guys. As much as he's a good player, I really wouldn't. But yeah, I think that's my rant over for that, really. Let's see if there's anything else in Sunday PaperTalk to talk about in regards to Liverpool. Liverpool remain in negotiations with Southampton over the 19-year-old Romeo Lavia. after seeing an initial bid of 34 plus 4 million add-ons rejected. I agree with that. I think that, as far as I'm aware, didn't they put another bid in of around 40 plus 5, so it came to like 45 million, and we haven't heard whether that's been rejected or anything yet. I mean, there's been this Belgian journalist out there that seems to have his finger on the pulse a lot with it, and he's not said it's been rejected, he's not said it's been accepted. So to me, it seems there may be a little bit of haggling going on in regards to the structure of that deal. Like 45 may be acceptable to Southampton for Lavia. I was of the opinion that Lavia may have been done now, so he could join up with the squad in Singapore. But, you know, obviously we've got a game now, I've got it on the TV now. Well, before the pre-match, on the TV now. And that's why it keeps changing on my face. But I thought that may have been done. He may have missed this game and he may play in the Bayern game. But I don't think he'll play in the Bayern game now. I think it's a little bit too soon. Unless today the deal gets done. Unless after I've done this video, let's say before Monday evening, I think he could play on Wednesday. I do. Because it'd just be a case of getting him out there, train Tuesday, throw him in Wednesday, potentially. But I would prefer if he maybe played, you know, they'll probably have like a little light session tomorrow, bit more of a heavier one on Tuesday, and then play Wednesday. So I think maybe today, it might be the deadline, guys, on getting him in. Who knows? And we saw Chelsea have been heavily linked with Lavia, but they signed a French midfielder yesterday. So you may take that as well also into consideration to say that it's good news. You know, maybe they've been told they can't get Lavia, so they're going to get this French kid in Casado. I take that as good news anyway, in regards to that. But yeah, Lavia seems like it's going to happen. Other names, potentially. You know, Thuram's chirped back up again. Kone's never gone away, really. That Brazilian player, Andre, is it, from Fluminense? He was linked to us by the Portuguese newspaper, The Record. That's quite a decent paper, that, in Portugal. I think they've been pretty much on it when we signed Diaz and Darwin. And they basically said that Sporting Lisbon are trying to sign Andre, but they're in competition with us to get him. So that could be one where they've chucked our name in there to give it a bit of a bit of gravitas to the article, potentially, or it's legit. You know, obviously it's one of them. But he's not gone away. So there's Andre, Thuram, Kone. But, you know, I don't know. I keep seeing people saying Amrabat, but I think he's off to Man United, to be honest, guys. I don't know. Like, I as well, at the same time, would be very cautious of taking someone off a good World Cup. Like, I don't know. And he rang for... I hold hands up to him like he was probably the best midfielder at the World Cup, but I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit... I don't know. I don't think Amrabat maybe would be for me. But we definitely need someone a little bit older than Lavia to come in as well. So, if, let's just say, for instance, guys, we sign Lavia and another of, say, Kone, Thuram, Andre, or whatever. Let's chuck Amrabat in there as well, yeah? Would you be happy with that midfield of Szoboszlai, Elliott, Jones, Thiago, McAllister, Lavia, Bajcetic, if I've not already said him already, and then one of the other ones that comes in? Do you think that's a decent midfield? I think it's got a lot more legs in it, something that we've been asking for. You know, something I think Klopp mentioned here yesterday was... we know that we have to do something there. We are working on solutions. That's midfield signings. So he said solutions, not solution. So you would think there's going to be more incoming. He touched on here saying nobody has to be the next James Milner, the next Henderson. They have to be themselves. And then he goes on to say, first, people want changes. Now everyone is worrying about the changes. We are really optimistic about it and excited as well. I, for one, can't really wait for this season to start, guys. I just want it to get this summer transfer window over with. It seems to have become so toxic, and especially, I don't know if it's just because I'm online, because I'm obviously with this YouTube channel, I try to keep an eye on everything, but there's just so many people out there that are just misleading everybody, like, with all these stuff. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, guys. Did anybody at all mention anything to do with Dominic Szoboszlai until it was basically announced? Like, the article came out, what, 2 days before we signed him? Did anybody mention anything to do with him? I didn't see anything to do with him. I saw his name chucked out there in, like, January time or something like that as, like, a thing, but... And I've always kind of liked Szoboszlai as a player, like, back before he joined Salzburg, but I never claimed to know that he was coming to Liverpool this year. I thought he was well and above beyond our means at 60 million. Which was a nice surprise, but then again at the same time you've got to think of all the money that the club are saving on the wages of the players that have gone out. They were all on big money, guys. It's ridiculous how much money they've saved. But yeah, sorry if I've gone on a bit of a rant and I've gone away from the Sunday paper talk. There's literally nothing else to talk about. It's Mbappe and Lavia. Sorry guys, but yeah, the football match is about to start, so I'm going to end this video here. Please leave me a comment down below on anything you want me to talk about next, guys. And if anything in this video you want to leave a comment on, just drop me a comment down below, guys. Give the video a like, and if you are new here, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.